looks like it. The timer did reset. Or whatever. Alright, looks like I'm live. Hey, welcome to another episode of Chad's Beer Reviews. Probably should have scratched my head before I started. Anyway, I got a really special beer tonight. This is a really interesting thing. So you might have seen this on the shelf down there for a while. This is kokytus rye whiskey barrel aged Imperial Stout with cacao nibs, 14% ABV. This box contains two 12-ounce cans, and here's one of them. I actually drank the other one with a friend about a week ago, so spoilers, I've already had this beer. Alright, looks like we're back online. So, don't know anything about this brewery. I got this on Tavour, this box, for, it was $18 or $19. But, I mean, you get two cans, so, I mean, it was about, what, $9.50 a can for 14%, you know, barrel-aged Imperial Stout. That's pretty good. So this was, they even had said have the brew on date, brewed April 1st of this year. Focus. There we go. And it was aged 3.5 months in fresh rye whiskey barrels with cacao nibs. Even has the hops in there. It just says, well, specialty malts, Columbus hops, and brown sugar. Although my brewer's friends tell me that Columbus hops are not very good. 53 IBUs, 100% unblended. And they even have more details on the back of the box here. It says, we aged this brew for 3.5 months in rye whiskey barrels to balance out the aggressive barrel flavor. Cacao nibs were added. This beer is not to be taken lightly. He said that the river... It's something about Dante's Inferno. Kokytus is the river Kokytus, as I call it in this whole place, in Dante's Infernos. I never read that book, so... And this is Martin Brewing. They're out of Fort Worth, Texas. All right, so after all that introduction, let's get on to the beer. So you probably saw the thumbnail. This is super dark beer. Like when this was coming out, this was like ink. It was like, this one is definitely on par with Cigar City Marshall Zukov. I think that's probably like the darkest beer I've ever seen. Oh, you know what's interesting is that I looked at the difference between, there's a difference between cacao nibs, cocoa nibs, and chocolate, and it's basically cacao is like the raw like seed or nut of the chocolate plant or whatever. Well, chocolate is actually a byproduct of cacao, and then cocoa is when that's been like roasted or heated, and then chocolate is when you take that and you added like cocoa butter and vanilla and milk and all that stuff. So anyways, let's get on with the beer. Oh my god, 3 viewers. That's a record. Alright, so yeah, it smells like a pretty typical Imperial, you know, whiskey barrel stout. So I get, you know, I can definitely smell the whiskey character on here. And I don't think I could smell just, I don't think I'd tell the difference between like rye whiskey and Kentucky whiskey or whatever off of like from a barrel. But yeah, it does have that vanilla kind of woody character to it. Get a lot of dark fruit on this one. It's not really roasty, but it's also not really sweet smelling. I mean, I like those Imperial stouts that like, they're like, you know, like French roast coffee like that as far as the aroma, but it smells very sweet. And I don't get chocolate per se, but I mean, like with barrel aging, you tend to get vanilla as just kind of a characteristic from the wood. And what's nice is for 14% ABV, I can't smell any booze. Like it's very clean presence. Yeah, so it doesn't smell. I'm trying to think of like what I could compare this to. Well, I mean, Goose Island is... Well, I mean, I guess you could compare it to Goose Island because that's just a straight Imperial Stout in bourbon barrels. But this, I mean, this has cocoa nibs and like KBS is like chocolate and coffee. But so, I mean, I have to go through the list. But anyways, I'm rambling. We're 5 minutes in and I haven't taken a sip yet. Cheers. Mmm. Mmm. Kind of clears the sinuses there. That tends to happen a lot with strong imperial stouts like that. I think it's just from the alcohol. Although I will say the alcohol in this is like really smooth, really mellow, really clean. It's not burning or anything. That's the beauty of live internet, folks. Every time I scratch my head or my ear, I can't cut it out. All right, so on to the beer. Yeah, I mean, this is sort of on par with Goose Island, Bourbon County. But again, like, that's a bourbon barrel. This is rye whiskey. I mean, they're very, very similar, especially if you're not a spirits connoisseur. If you're not Lou Bryson, you know, you probably can't tell the difference, but... What, Leo? What? What? Want some beer? Come here. Come here. Whoa. I thought he wanted to come up. There's your answer. Leo's right there. He's on the floor somewhere. There is, yeah, I mean, I can kind of get the cacao nibs and like kind of a general roasty bitterness on here. I mean, I wouldn't go as far as say it's like ashy or anything, but I mean, you know, Imperial Stout, I mean, it's going to have a lot of malt in it. And especially to get it like this super inky black, it's going to, you know, have a lot of roasted malt in there too. That being said, it doesn't have like that, you know, raw kind of coffee flavor to it. I think the whiskey barrel, surprisingly, for only 3.5 months, that seems like a short amount of time to age for whiskey barrels. Because usually these types of beers, I think they sit in the barrels for like a year. But, well, I don't know. I'm just guessing. Any professional brewers out there, let me know. Yeah, so it's actually kind of like bitter up front. It's like bittersweet, you know. Just like slightly bitter, you know, roasty, but then towards the back and right at the crest and into the aftertaste, you're getting like a lot of a fruity flavor from all the malts there. And there's a little bit of sweetness from the you know, the whiskey barrel adding like a vanilla kind of flavor to it. That's the thing about barrel aging, is like that they add kind of a vanilla flavor to it without it actually being sweet. Same thing with the malt, like the malt too. What, dude? You want to come up or not? Hey, hi everybody. Lay down. What's odd is that the mouthfeel on this is not quite the carbonated motor oil you think it would be. You know, a beer like this, it should definitely have like a straight, full body. And this is, I probably put it about like medium. It's also seems to be like a tad undercarbonated. It's like, it's not like the silky smooth, you know, rich, you know, chewy mouthfeel that you might expect in a 14% ABV stout. And the alcohol is there. It's quite subtle as far as flavor. I mean, I can feel like a little bit of a warming as it's going down, but I mean, it's not burning or challenging or anything. Overall, this is, I mean, obviously for a beer, yeah, I mean, this is good. It's not, I don't think I would call this a great beer. I would have to go through, your cat meows hard. Yeah. Whenever he wants something, that's all he does. He's like, listen to me. Hey, hey. He's like a dog who keeps barking, you know. But this is it's not quite as good. Definitely not as good as like KBS or Goose Island Bourbon County. Certainly better than those Kentucky bourbon ones. Whatever that. I always find those are pretty gross. But to me, this just isn't on par with like a Parabola or something like that. Um, I think like even as like as an Imperial Stout, as a barrel, whiskey barrel aged barrel stout, um, and everything that has going for it, it's tasty, yes, but it's not. I've had better, I guess is what I'm saying. As far as rating, I probably go. I think I'm gonna go a solid 4.0, maybe 4.25. I can't really go any higher than that for kokytus or kokytus or whatever it's pronounced. Um, I like a little bit thicker mouthfeel. I'd like. I mean, if you're gonna say it has cacao nibs in it, like why stop at just cacao nibs? 'Cause that's not really chocolate. It's like just kind of adding like a bitterness. Like either throw coffee in here or throw like vanilla beans. Um, maybe age it longer in the whiskey barrels to get like an actual real whiskey flavor on here. I mean, well, actually, I take that back. There's plenty of whiskey flavor on here, and I must say it is very smooth for 14% ABV. It just seems to be lacking like a certain quality. I mean, if I was doing this side by side with Goose Island and KBS, this is gonna rank kind of low. It didn't hold a head either. KBS at least holds a head. Maybe throw some wheat in here or anything. All right, so I am on 12 minutes. I am rambling. Thanks for watching. If you want to get, I mean, they don't have it on there anymore, but at least not right now. But if you want to get cool beers like this on Tavour, check out my link in the description below. You're going to get $10 off your first purchase, and let them know that I sent you. So thanks for watching. And I think my next crate will be here either Monday or Tuesday, maybe Wednesday at the latest. Because I think this was the last beer from my last crate that I haven't reviewed yet. So, all right. Going very long as always. Thanks for watching, and I will see you probably in a few days.